Hey all listeners, this is part 3 of Brotato, Abyssal Terrors. I forgot if I said Abyssal Terrors last time. Okay, so we get the wrench. So we need to combine 2 wrenches actually. And then we get this boom. Toolbox. Get a Tyler. I really thought about getting the chainsaw actually. Because... So that is the tool. Because that's 10% of one enemy's current health as bonus damage. 1% for bosses and elite. Yeah, so that's good. Like the more enemies scale up, the scarier that actually gets. We must can no longer be upgraded. Oh damn. Right, so not you eventually want to get that later on. Percent attack speed. Yeah, we don't care about HP regeneration anyway. You want to save wall? Yes. Okay. I mean, it is not 100% that I will stick with the branches all the way, you know, and stuff that. Like, I feel like the branches is probably going to be good, right? Because the fact that we can spawn a lot of turrets. But, you know, the fact also that no extra turret has shown up. I don't know if there's a limit to this character that the more turrets are unlikely to show up or whatever, right? You know, we do have 72 luck though. Is luck percentage based or how does luck work? You have 72% more chance of finding items or consumables when you kill enemies. Also increase the variety of items in the shop and level upgrades. Okay. But I kind of wish like in Vampire Survivors that you could have something right that sort of being able to have from a new soundtrack is nice, but it would be nice if you could actually select the music or if you could make your own like playlist. So that you can either the songs have shuffled or have the songs be in a certain order or whatever. But same thing with this background, as I said, right? That it would be nice if it every like certain amount of waves. Oh, yeah, extra HP is what we want from that, even though it's less luck. Oh, because we have 0 dodge. Minus 2% damage when you take damage. So is that every time? But is that every time? So is that permanent? Yeah, more max HP. Luck. Get that. Reroll. 1% damage for every permanent 1% speed. You have -4. But that will increase every time. Yeah. Get more explosion damage. Laser gun though. Let's go. Now 71 max health. Right, and we're still negative, yeah. -6 HP region now. What is that turret? Alright, so that's a laser turret. What did we get? Because we have 2 regular turrets. And we should have 2 medical turrets right now, or 3 medical turrets. And we have 2 of the flying bot. So we have 60 element. Yeah, so we have 60 elemental damage. 5 permanent plus 1, yeah, so that even if we have gotten things that are giving us negative elemental damage, it just remembers how much elemental damage we have gotten. So we are benefiting 60 from that. We're getting 2+ elemental damage 5 stacks, so we've gotten 30% extra from the structure we have. So the more structures we have, the more elemental damage we do. Like, more elemental damage also. Yeah, we get structure attack speed. So like, it's an insane synergy really. To be honest, like, it's very, very insane. The synergy with the branches and stuff that. And we're taking a lot of damage though now. Sure, we are taking a lot of damage because we only have 6 armor and stuff that, you know, we definitely need to go in on armor, I feel like, you know. And I think we have no curse, right? We only have 1 curse key. And I mean, this is still Danger 1, you know, and stuff that, sure, it's not the highest Danger level or whatever, right, you know, but, you know. Yeah, elemental damage is so good. Fine, that's we can just get that for free. Just more harvesting, please. No, we don't want that. We want the landmines though. When you get hit, 10% max damage, yes. Nah, man, let's... Wait, how much? We don't have minus, right, on the consumables. So consumables heal 0, that's actually bad. So we gain nothing from consumables. Is that really correct? We do gain more max health with that. Yeah, we're not gonna block that. Yeah, enemies actually gain. Enemies are now very, very quick actually. We are so slow. Right, yeah, we are minus 4% movement speed. I definitely feel like we are gonna need more movement speed now at this point unless we get more armor. I mean, as long as we stay somewhat near to turrets, but I feel like I wanna be greedy. Want to get certain things. We are definitely getting health back, right? Yeah, but we are getting it from the turret. Right, because oh, that did give me health. That 100% gave me health, the fruit there. Right? Yeah. Huh? Maybe it wasn't from the fruit. Maybe it's actually for my medical turrets. Okay, we take that for the max HP though. Luck. More turrets. Get that, get cake. Destroyer! I mean, the destroyer is so fucking good though. Hitting an enemy spawns a lightning projectile. But it's so damn expensive though. Can we even afford that? And like, do we kill ourselves if we get rid of all of our branches? I do that for now. I'm gonna make sure though. Right, if we get enough this wave, then we're definitely getting the destroyer. Right, but then we need to combine things, and that's why I locked the branch, like you know, so we can get more slots. Because it might mean that we end up getting a legendary from that, you know. It's of course going to end up being very, very useful for us. Okay. almost 10 minutes. Hopefully this doesn't take up a lot of file size, of course. I mean, if this game ends up taking very little file size, and we can do like really long recordings, or like do a lot of recordings, then that's going to be really good, you know. Elemental damage, 3 star in 1 hit. More luck. So we get that first, we get the wings. Combine that. We combine that. We get the snake. Oh man, weapons can no longer be upgraded or recycled. Right, so you want to make sure that you actually get rid of the weapons then beforehand, because otherwise you're locked to the weapons you have. Right, otherwise, right? I'm locking that for now though. So what is our speed now? Now we have 6% speed. Okay, hello Mr. Boss, can we deal with you now? Is the question. Okay, we're not very good with dealing with the boss. We have 12 cures though. That is important to remember. But I feel like we have way more health than we had last time. We almost have 100 health now at this point, which I feel is probably decent. We have 3 crates though. It actually feels really good. I mean, I definitely feel like if we get a destroyer, for example. Come on, man, don't be an absolute idiot. Don't be absolute. Ah, damn it. And we were on. Damn it. Okay, so we unlock engineer. Okay, so there is an actual engineer character. 10 plus engineering and EM modifications are increased by 25%. Start with 1 branch, start to spawn, close to each other, okay. Damage modifications reduced by 50%, okay. While 30% lifesteal with primitive weapons. You start with 1 stick. You can't equip weapons above tier 2, okay. Seek. 12% max HP, 25% lifesteal. Take 1 damage per second, does not give invulnerability time, and minus 100% HP generation. So yeah. You start with 1 harpoon gun. 100% harpoon gun price. Or minus 100% K. 200% crit damage with precise weapons. Crit sense modifications are increased by 25%. SP regeneration for every 2 melee damage you have. Enemies take 20% more damage for 3 seconds when hit by range damage. Right. But you have 100% reduced range damage and the enemy has way more health. Passive is you gain material and XP for every living enemy at the end of a wave. So what? So you want to avoid killing stuff? And you gain XP the more stuff you keep alive? That is interesting. So yeah, so it's up to the 5 there with surviving, okay. Get 20,000 enemies. I mean, I would love to see a thing here, like a progress on how far you are. 200 plus harvesting, 50% speed, 3,000 materials. Okay. We have so many now though. Diver seems actually really interesting in my opinion. Standing here by the way. Okay. Right, so is engineer just better than this? I mean, you start with 2 turrets with that and the elemental damage, right? Maybe I shouldn't have gone with branches, maybe there would be better stuff. So let's go with Diver. Precise weapons, okay. Right, you can back out from that, okay. So Captain can start with these weapons, okay. What can Wildling start with? How does it work exactly if I go with Wildling? Okay, so you start with 1 stick. Every additional stick you have. Tier 2. But so does that mean that like upgrading them doesn't work? Is that the thing then? Javelin. 1% lifesteal. So wouldn't Chop Tooth be better than 1% lifesteal? I don't know, but that requires missing health. Slingshot gives you lifesteal though. A lot of lifesteal. But all of them have very high lifesteal. Interesting. Oh, are you kidding me? You can begin with... Okay, but you have 25 plus curse immediately. And you have 30% damage. You can only equip tier 2 weapons or above. Okay, so that's why you start with rare. Okay, so that is confirmed. Rare or the two are tier 2 weapons. The rare, yeah. Which is when you combine 2, you become rare immediately. Okay. Crit chance is capped at 20%. Dodge cap is capped at 20%. And harvesting modifications are reduced by 100%. Okay. Plan is to reset when you pick up material. Blunderbuss. Yeah, let's go Danger 1. Okay, this is also pretty nice looking. So, okay, so immediately when you pick up materials, you can shoot again. So picking up materials become very important to do with this. So I mean, anything that increases our materials, right? Anything that increases like material spawning is gonna be insane. But I'm going with attack speed here. Dodge and harvesting. Lock another blunderbuss. Oh man, Cute Monkey actually have insane synergy there. Right, so with this you definitely want to get more materials quickly, it feels like, you know. You see how long it takes to fire otherwise. But yeah, the question is though, like, yeah, because it's like the cooldown is 4.94%. Meaning, for example, like, yeah, like attack speed is going to be insane on this weapon. But I feel like, is attack speed really worth it then? Right? Is attack speed really worth it, or is it just like pick up materials and then you shoot stuff? Yeah, attack speed. So now we have 2 blunderbuss. I feel like it's going to be pretty hard in the beginning because we went with the blunderbuss immediately. Probably maybe it would have been better to wait to pick up a blunderbuss, right? Until we had enough like material increasing stuff. But yeah, we definitely feel safer with 2 blunderbusses. You know. The problem is, so of course, yes, things are going to be expensive because we can only get stuff that is rare and above. Get max HP. Another blunderbuss to lock. Okay, go. Nice. Yeah, this is gonna be absolutely crazy. I feel like, you know, that 1 minute escape. Yeah, the ingen one. I don't know how much harder you could say that ingen one was. I mean, I shouldn't have played the way I did last time. And getting that thing that made it so that consumables did not heal, that was actually what killed me last round. Because it definitely felt like we needed to get like the healing turrets to heal me and stuff that, you know. And if I would have had enough like healing turrets, of course, then we probably could have done it, you know, and stuff that, you know. Recycle that. Get more max HP. Get the blunderbuss, get the baby gecko. Loot aliens. Look that. 10% damage is nice. Even though that's less range. I mean, I feel like we're gonna be close to enemies most of the time though, because we need to pick up materials. You know, so, you know. So this character is really good with, what was it, naval weapons. Against cursed enemies, specifically. Which is capped at 20% and harvesting modifications are reduced by 100%. Which is why getting harvesting is really going to be important, you know. This also means that, for example, if there's ever a lot of material left on the stage, you know, and stuff that, you know. Nah. Yeah, that seems good. I mean, actually starting with tier 2 weapons actually seem like really insane, and I mean, definitely feels like it has gotten like a bit easier now. But I mean, like our max HP isn't very good at all. You know, it's strange, you know, because yes, this weapon is really slow and stuff that we only have 15% attack speed, which means we have 4.51 seconds the armor cooldown. And of course, yes, it is going to decrease also if we get more, you know, that sort of thing, but yeah. And of course, if we can get more gecko and stuff then that's going to be good. But is it though? Because what if we pick up all the materials like right away and stuff that, you know? I mean, it is going to be good, right? Because that means that we're just going to be firing like crazy. Now we'll recycle that. Attack speed. Blunderbuss. Harvesting. Reroll. There's an anchor though. That's melee of course. Lock another blunderbuss in. Reroll. Yes, more recoverable lemonade is what we would have needed a lot of last time to make it work. But since there are medieval weapons, does that mean that there is like something like a knight or something like that, you know? Because I definitely feel like that there needs to be like something right for every weapon type, right? that there needs to be something that like oh, this character is stronger with medieval weapons, right? You know, because there needs to feel like there's at least one for everything, you know. And the question is, are Brotato gonna do crossovers? It's gonna be the question, right? Are Brotato, for example, gonna do like, you know, because I'm still saying this, of course, you know, the reason why, you know, if you remember on Vampire Survivors, even when I first started doing it, I made like a custom thumbnail and stuff there, like Resident Evil, like, you know, survivors, or like Raccoon City survivors or something like that, you know, because, you know, like imagine like if Resident Evil did a survival game, but I feel like it would be better if it was a crossover first that was done rather than letting Capcom themselves do a survivor style game, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, more luck. Silver bullet, we want that. Okay. Yeah, well, it's going to be important, you know, to get more harvesting of coals, and we only have 0 harvesting actually. Why do we have 0 harvesting? Because harvesting modifications are reduced by 100%, so what? So we're only getting 8 harvesting from this. What is giving us minus harvesting though? So we get more harvesting from that as well. We don't have anything that is reducing our harvesting though, except for this, of course. But does that mean unless a harvesting thing is powerful enough, does that mean that those stuff do nothing? Because how come we still have 0 in harvesting? How come we still have 0 harvesting? So is it that we need more wheelbarrows, more peaceful bee, for example, to have enough? You know, that's the question. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, it is really bad if the timing gets wrong. Then like you're just a sitting duck until you can get more material to spawn. Yeah, this might have been a bad idea. I feel like we might lose really, really early here. Yeah. Did I die there on purpose? No, not really. I don't think we unlocked anything there either. Grass zone, okay. Yeah. And as I said, if you pre-circle, you just go back from that. Wait, oh, I can see what the actual unlocks are. Kill 20,000 enemies, collect 20,000 materials, 20% harvesting, 50% speed. When I run in Danger 2, Danger 1, Danger 2. Just run what's your curse. Restore tempo 486. So I don't think we did get a single unlock there. Maybe we did, but I didn't pay attention. I'm looking though. I'm looking for the harvesting thing now, actually. So he is good with harvesting though. I mean, you start with also harvesting. When you pick up material kit. So you have less damage, you have less energy. Okay, so you get some harvesting as well. You don't gain negative or some modifications. Okay, so you're more trees. You have more speed, you have more pickup range. Less materials from enemies though. You start with one spyglass. For every different item you have, okay? 10% max damage for every duplicate item or weapon you have. Percent HP for every free weapon slot you have. From non-elemental sources. Elemental damage modifications are reduced, okay. Harpoon gun. In this take, yeah. But you have reduced range damage and you have precise some percent crit damage with precise weapons, crit chance. Because crit and modifications are increased. 1 HP for every 2+ melee damage. Some lifesteal. Bounce. Oh man, but that's material though. Do we go with Danger Zero though? I really want to try and do Danger 1 though. I really want to try and do Danger 1. It's at 3 minutes, okay? Yeah. 50, 75 and 25%. New tracks and Abyssal terror tracks. Okay. Yes. Okay. Back. And back. Back. Okay, so you start with one harpoon gun. Harpoon 100% minus harpoon gun price. Okay. And harpoon damage is okay, that's naval. And you have the gun also. That gives you more curse. So enemies and raiders around the projectile, of course. So, yeah, and 100% harpoon gun price minus 1% crit damage with precise weapons. Crit chance modifications are increased, so you want to crit a lot. And it's 1 HP raised for every 2+ melee damage you have. So you want to make sure that you get HP regen or melee damage. So you want to have melee damage with this, but you also want to use a harpoon gun. I mean, like, you can just go away immediately right from the harpoon gun, right? Right? To not have to deal with curse. But you don't have any bonus from that yet. Because I mean, like, I feel like Thief Dagger is just going to be better, right? Because Thief Dagger has good crit chance. That will give me more materials. Yeah, we'll see how things go here. You're bang. Yeah, that's not a lot. But they said that melee damage was really good, of course. Gentle Alien, yes. Although not as good as with that. Yeah, more melee damage is of course what? More melee damage is more HP regen, but the crit is important for us. Do we just get a regular knife now? Now we don't recycle that. We want to take that Lambiac though, I think. That might have been a mistake though, getting the Gentle Alien right, because what is it? Is it more max HP on enemies? No. It's more max HP for us, more damage and more enemies, of course. But more enemies means, of course, more materials. So maybe it will be worth it. Because I feel like what we want to do is get as much thief daggers as possible, I feel like, you know. Max HP, why not? Bag? More thief dagger. Yeah, crit, we want that. Attack speed, we want that. We can't go negative armor, right? I don't think we can. Yeah. So we want to get as much crit as possible as well. But then of course more melee damage equals, as I said, more melee damage equals more HP regen. Stuff that, you know. So that also means that having higher like HP max up is going to be very important for us as well. Do we have lifesteal, by the way? We have 0% lifesteal, by the way. And we have 5. We have 5% damage percentage, right? Yeah. And we have melee doing 2 plus extra damage. Get that, get this. We don't want alien worm, we want that though. We probably want scared sausage as well. And I will recycle the harpoon gun. There we go. Now we're all about the knives. But because we start with the harpoon gun, and yes, harpoon guns are cheap. But we have more crit damage with precise weapons. These are precise, yeah. But you deal less like range damage, and then we have like a lot more health. So this could be like really bad for us. But I feel like the Danger 1, right? So Danger 1 doesn't increase the max health, but you know. There's our harvesting, just 0. But we don't have anything that increases our harvesting right now. But we do gain more materials when we pick up a crate. So does that mean that we're not killing with crits, or are we? Oh, crit chance. Let's gas sausage, get there. Another gas sausage though. It is one of those primitive that has like 2 combinations. Like primitive and right, and that gives you like lifesteal. But that might be worth going into, maybe. A 50% chance to gain 1 material when killing an enemy with critical hit. Okay. Of course, yes, you do gain crit chances from having several of those as well, but yeah. Because I mean, like more materials, like, wait, is it the materials that are leveling us up actually? It's materials also XP. Because if that is the case, right, then it means like, for example, like more materials equals more levels equals the cost, the fact that yes, we can spend more, you know, and stuff like that as well. 10 luck. We don't want range. Damage. Or up the shard. We can probably deal with just one curse. Cyclist of support. Purple Sleep Stagger. No, we have way too less health. Our max HP is way too low for this and stuff. That's yeah. We have negative 1 armor actually, so do we take more damage from that than having negative armor? Yeah, you take 6% more damage, yeah, so that's actually bad for us. I mean, it's okay now at the early waves here, but you know, it means that we could end up getting one-shotted, you know, and stuff like that. So I mean, like, the speed is going to be important for us as well. So we don't have lifesteal. We have 0% lifesteal. Shouldn't the weapons give us lifesteal still? No. More armor. Trident though. Naval and medieval. 30% damage against target above 1. Okay, so what we combine two, and then we can get the purple one. We have elemental damage, so I mean, we do have these. Yeah, let's just get that for now. Okay, we're still only maxing the level that we are at, you know, and stuff that, you know. Almost did. Can we? Oh, I think we can survive this, but then I'm guessing that this was a hard wave. That I wasn't just ready for it, you know. But I mean, like, we gave enemies like 200% or 250% more health, which, you know. Do we go for something silly? Maybe we can just go with something easier here. We know that Brawler already worked. 100% range with precise weapons. Stop with one knife. Yeah, so you receive way less HP. Let's actually try out the regular engineer here. So hammer. Because I mean, we already know things that are good. Here with the engineering, of course, we know stuff that are good. But this one actually looks pretty nice. Because this is very bright. What is arm? Time, okay. Good. I mean, is it just that we're not ready for the new one, or I'm not like thinking properly about things, and stuff like that, Okay, so we have a wrench. We want max HP. We get another wrench. I think we don't go with the anti-alien actually until we are actually more powerful. Okay. Look. Okay. Because we know that with that other character how good the wrenches could be. But yeah. I think we could have survived that run if we would have gotten the destroyer action and stuff like that, Because sometimes it's just that sometimes it feels like I'm going into the enemies on purpose sometimes, Harvesting. Right, get the wrench. Look. Okay, let's knock back. Of course, engineering is gonna be important again with this character. You start with one wrench, structures one damage modifications are reduced by 50%. Okay, that's fine. But then linear modifications are increased by 25%. So anything that adds plus to engineering is going to add more. But does that only affect the positive effects of it? Because engineering modifications are increased by 25%. But does that mean that the negative stuff on the engineering, things like if something gives you plus engineering but minus max health, does only the plus to engineering increase, or does also the max health decrease? Does that increase? When engineering more range, more range, more that, more range, no. Yeah, we already know how powerful turrets can be, of course, but we know that our attack speed also needs to go up. We know how important attack speed is. Stuff that, especially since attack speed do affect the turret. But, I mean, not that attack speed, but secondary one. So structure attack speed, so we need to get stuff that can make us rectify faster, but yeah. Maybe we shouldn't go up to day new one already, right? Until we have gotten more black stuff to unlock and stuff, Wow, was that? So was that a curse we picked up there? I think that was actually a curse. Enemies become stronger and drop more materials from cursed. So I mean, the more you curse, the more materials you can receive though. More movement speed. Ooh, wow. Weird food. Lock and lock. Okay. I mean, we were popping off with trophies earlier on, but now it feels like we aren't getting really anything. But I feel like, right, that if we would have not gone like a dingy one, I feel like we would have survived all the attempts we would have like done and stuff that I feel like, you know, especially it was really unlucky that we died on wave 20 with that other attempt when we went with turrets and stuff that, because, you know, but or did that turret attempt get past 20, you know? Materials, nice. I know that Ugly Tooth is really good, but that makes you slower as well. Wonkies, we don't get that. That was really, really bad at one time that we got that. More Vrens, more. I want to get all of those actually. So we definitely get a different turret from the Vrens now, because now we have one with ice. Yeah, so we're not gonna like try and think about like not using the Vrens, I feel like, you know. But right, but Vrens doesn't technically count as an engineering, right? At all, and like specific like engineering weapons, right? Like even though the Vrens summon a turret, it's not an engineering weapon per se, right? It doesn't have like engineering description on it. I mean, I wonder if there are like weapons that counts as having like engineering in the description on it. Right, because it's nobody gives you anything. Okay, it's tool. Yeah, we need to remember that it's tool on the description that it needs. It needs to be a tool. We need that. We need that. Just we have one purple Vrens. And the purple Vrens, of course, is the laser turret. Okay, that's interesting actually. So we then lose out on the slower turret. I should have paid attention to what it was when we got the orange one. So maybe you actually don't want to have everything be like an orange one, unless the orange one does multi-elemental attacks or something, you know. But I feel like we learned a lot from last time, like what not to take with the turrets and stuff that, you know, so, you know. We still have very low HP though, I need to remember that. We have 0 armor still. And I really want to get the lifesteal though. Oh, incendiary turret. Lock. That's absolutely insane though. Because see, that was the main problem before, that we didn't get enough of the turrets. And sure, you only have like what you don't start even with a turret with this character. No, you don't. But yeah, this means that we should actually be on the lookout for other tool weapons, because there might be actually better tool weapons then. Now I want to try and make one of those, you know, like double barrel shotgun like builds actually work and stuff that, you know. There was a lot of damage from just getting attacked once there from that charging thing. We don't have any trees, so we have like very little healing actually. Come on, get it. Attack speed. So we get that first, and we'll get this, and we get this. And I would love to get the HP regen though. We have 0, so it doesn't matter, I don't think. Yeah, because now we have an incendiary turret as well. Yeah, we are gonna need to do something about the healing situation at this point, you know. Because our healing situation is not good at all. Because having to rely on like the stuff that spawns actually feels really bad. Especially since we have 0 armor. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of materials though from this. Okay. Ooh. That's so lucky, man. Yeah, missile. Awesome. OM. Okay, so we get that. Yes. Okay, we're actually gonna be doing this. Boom. Boom. Yes. I feel that might be worth doing. You know, because we cannot wait for too long for better branches, you know. We need like better turrets, right? Because better branches, right, equals, right, that the turret we spawn is stronger, right? Yeah, things are definitely getting pretty rough now at Whip 10 already. Because just that thing that started with 2 turrets already from the beginning was like really good, but you know. What's attack speed at? Attack speed is 31%. Which you know is decent. Almost died. If I would have moved you slightly wrongly, we actually would have died. Okay, 20 range, that's just free range, that's just... But having negative armor is really bad. Obviously though. No, we don't want curse. Oh, dude. 10% melee damage, 6% attack speed. 6% speed for 3 seconds when you take damage. They should block that. Okay. And then we actually combine those two. We combine 2 blues. Yeah. Things are still scary because we don't have very high max health. I mean, as long as we're sticking in our turrets, I feel we are pretty safe. Get the 3. Thank you. I feel like we need to move though. Did we get max health there? I'm not 100% certain we did. Okay, by the way, we're gonna start the next recording immediately, almost. The timer is over here.